The time is now 5 p.m. We will now call this regular public meeting of the Board of Trustees of Humboldt Independent School District to order. Moving to our first item of business, closed session. This is the Level 3 FNG parent complaint. It is a closed session of the board, which will now be held on the matters contained in the notice for this meeting. Should the board determine that any final action, final decision, or final vote be required with regard to any matter considered in such closed session, then such final action, final decision, or final vote will be made upon reconvening of this public meeting in open session. The time is now 5:00 p.m. The time is 6:02 p.m. We will now reconvene into open session. Regarding the Level 3 complaint for Board Policy FNG, Mr. Silva, do I have a motion?
Yes, Mr. President. I move that the board grant requested remedies numbers 4 and 6, deny the remaining remedies requested in the Level 3 FNG grievance, and direct the administration to communicate the decision to the grievant in connection with the same.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Yes, Mr. Scarfo.
I wasn't able to be here at 5 o'clock, so I'll have to abstain.
Yes, sir. All right, all those in, oh, yes, Mr. Grabowski.
Mr. President, may I ask if Mrs. Silva can read out what 4 and 6 are, please? Is it, no?
Yeah, we discussed that.
Counselor?
No.
I
I object.
I would advise against reading the particulars from the grievance to ensure that we do not release any personally identifiable student information.
Any further discussion? All right, all those in favor? All right, all those opposed? And any abstentions? We have one. All right, motion carries. What was that, 4 in favor? 501. All right. Now we will have a public hearing to discuss the 2026-2027 budget. We will now have that hearing as required by the Texas Education Code 44.004F. The board may hear public comments, discuss, and may adopt the budget. The board asks that comments pertain to the budget and be no longer than 3 minutes. The public hearing is now open. Are there any members of the public who wish to speak on this topic? Yes, ma'am. All right. Mrs. Allen, the floor is yours. Thank you.
I am Deanie Allen, retired Humboldt ISD teacher. My concern is, do we have a balanced budget? The Humboldt ISD app that communicates with parents and the website brag on our balanced budget. A little winner's ribbon with teacher raises and employee raises and balanced budget written on the little ribbon. But when I look at the proposed budget, I see a almost $7 million deficit. So do we have a balanced budget? Yes or no? And how does the board define a balanced budget?
Yes. Would it be okay if, yeah.
Can Mr. Beatty address that point? Because I think she's looking at the nutrition fund where we're spending down that money, the $7 million that takes us to total negative.
Mr. Beatty is prepared to answer.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
No, absolutely.
So the board adopts 3 different budgets. That's a general operating budget, the child nutrition budget, and our debt service budget. So we are recommending a balanced, small surplus, actually, in our general operating budget this year. We have we're planning to spend more expenses than revenues in our child nutrition because we have too much money in child nutrition right now, and we don't want to risk losing any of those funds. Part of the guidelines for those federal funds is that we have to use a specific amount of those federal funds, and we had some issues during COVID with supply chain disruptions that we built up too much fund balance, and now we're trying to spend it. So us recommending that deficit budget in child nutrition is our plan to be good stewards of that and make sure that we're spending those dollars. And that'll be infrastructure one-time related expenses.
Those would be things like coolers and,
Line upgrades, some of our lines at the campuses are really outdated and inefficient, so we're going to do a lot of that upgrade so that the kids can move through faster, get their food faster, get to eating quickly.
Thank you, Mr. Beatty.
In other words, it's use it or you lose it.
That's correct, yep.
Mr. Silva.
And just for clarification, that it's not fungible. It's not like we could take that money and move it to general or.
That's correct, yeah. Very limited on the ability to use those funds, and so this is the best purpose for those funds without losing them.
All right. So, Mrs. Allen, definitely a balanced budget. All right. Thank you again, Mr. Beatty. Good question. All right. Any others? Any others? Okay. All right. We had, I think, 5 on tap, but Mrs. Allen was the only one, so this public hearing is now closed. All right. Moving on, we are adjourning to closed session. And closed session of the board will now be held on the matters contained in the notice for this meeting. Should the board determine that any final action, final decision, or final vote be required with regard to any matter considered in such closed session, that such final action, final decision, or final vote will be made upon reconvening of this public meeting in open session. The time is now 6:09 p.m. The time is 7:01 p.m. We will now reconvene into open session. Thank you for joining us tonight. Reminder that the meetings of the board are open to the public but are not a meeting of the public. The Humble ISD Board of Trustees meet monthly in a regular meeting to receive reports from staff and take action from recommendations of the superintendent. The board receives the agenda and all supporting documentation several days in advance of the regular meetings, which allows us to ask and receive answers to many of our questions in advance of the regular meeting. Therefore, lengthy discussions are not always necessary on every agenda item, but as a board, we do have the appropriate knowledge and preparation for responses regarding the content of the meeting tonight. There are students and other guests present. To maintain decorum, respectful behavior is expected. Disruptive behavior and/or comments will not be allowed. And with that, our first item. I would ask everyone to stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Grabowski, could you lead us in that and the Texas flag?
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
We stand for a moment of silence. You may be seated. The next item is public comment. The board encourages comments from citizens of the district or from district employees. Anyone wishing to speak either as an individual or as a representative of a group may do so following the procedure outlined on the agenda. The board asks that comments pertain to public education issues and be no longer than 3 minutes. Remember that the board may not discuss or act upon any issues that are not posted on our agenda for tonight's meeting. If an issue mentioned is listed on tonight's agenda, the board will defer discussion until the appropriate time during the meeting. In addition, the board has adopted complaint policies that are designed to secure, at the lowest administrative level, a prompt and equitable resolution of complaints and concerns. Complaints brought by students or their parents, by employees, and by citizens may be heard in accordance with board policies. Each of these processes provides that if a resolution cannot be achieved administratively, the person may appeal the administrative decision to the board as a properly posted agenda item. Copies of our district policies on public participation in meetings and filing complaints are available on the Humble ISD website. I'd like to go ahead and invite our speakers for tonight to the podium. All right. And first up will be Miss Valerie Clayton. All right. All right. Next on the list is Jorge Montoya.
Hello, how you doing? Thank y'all for allowing me to speak tonight. My name is Jorge Montoya. I work with Humble ISD Transportation. I just wanted to come up here and just kind of open up some ears and maybe those that can help us out. The reason, again, I'm up here is because we have a 8% raise for our drivers. Thank you. We appreciate that. That's what we needed. But what I'm also here for is the office staff. Some of our office staff members didn't get that raise. They only got a 3% raise. So that there is what I'm here for, to speak on behalf of some of my, the people that I work with. My trainers didn't get it. My payroll staff didn't get it. The routers didn't get it. The dispatchers didn't get it. Myself and any other assistant supervisor or supervisor didn't receive that. We did get a great stipend that's coming up, but again, that's for our drivers. And the reason, again, I'm here is just to open up some ears, and if you have that voice for us and anyone else here, is to be able to help us at transportation, also to get that to our office staff personnel. We just wanted to try to be fair because we are the backbone as well that makes transportation run. And I do it because I love it. And I'm not here to complain and be mad, because that's not. I'm actually really grateful. I was raised at Humble ISD in this district, went to school in this district, and now I've been here for 10 years. But when you look back at it, we turn around and we think, I'm only been here 10 years, and yet as an office staff member, starting in July, the pay goes up to $21.60 an hour, and yet I don't make that much more than that. Right? Our office staff personnel don't make that much more than that. So it's somewhat disrespectful. At the same time, our guys feel not motivated enough, even though we drive every day. We work to be here every day. Our attendance is here every day. The usage of the Zoom tablet is what we use every day. Where that stipend helps those drivers, that's great. That's wonderful. I love it. But it doesn't help us at all as office staff members. So again, I'm just here to see if there's anyone that can hear, that can see a resolution into this, to where they can also help us as office staff members. My guys go out there every day and they drive 90% of the time. Some of us have driven both north and south transportation centers, and we're okay. We love doing what we do. That's what we're here for. The kids come first. We understand that. But I can't go off of my good looks. I got to get a little bit of extra money, 'cause I'm a handsome man, but not that handsome. But again, thank y'all very much for listening to me. I really appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. Ms. Williams.
Good evening to you, the esteemed members of the Humble ISD Trustee Board. My name is Ramika Williams, and I am also the fuel clerk and bus driver for Humble ISD. I come to you today with the concerns, as Mr. Montoya stated, as it relates to the raise and the incentive program that was announced on May 19th. The office staff of transportation are the true heartbeat and pulse that make every aspect of transportation run. Yet after the meeting and the announcement of the raise in the incentive program, the office staff feel overlooked. The office staff of transportation include routers, dispatchers, fuel clerks, general ed and special ed supervisors, mechanics, and trainers who have taken daily dedicated routes, shuttles, McKinney-Vento routes. We act as attendants and additional driving tasks to make sure that the students of Humble ISD get to and from school on time. Now, while we can't cover every vacant route, we do everything we can by consistently showing up to work every day, Monday through Friday, for the students. Without office staff, more students would not have otherwise made it to or from school on time. It's the office staff of Humble ISD transportation that drive 90% of the time. It's the office staff of Humble ISD transportation that drive 20-plus hours a week. To be very honest, the office staff drive more than most drivers. It's the office staff of transportation that consistently put themselves on the front line, asking what other routes need to be covered. When the drivers don't show up, we do. We are consistently told that driving comes first. Well, if that's the case, should not our pay reflect the dual role that we operate in? Should not we at least see the same pay as drivers or incoming drivers, as well as incentives? Without most of us holding the same credentials as drivers. We hold special needs certifications. We hold CDL credentials. We hold all of these credentials, yet we are being looked over. We are asking for equality, fairness, and consideration for the office staff. I understand the coin term, other assigned duties. However, if we are required to obtain these CDL credentials, experience, expected to drive daily, and still continue our task on time, should not we be considered just as everyone else who holds a CDL? But more importantly, as valued members of the transportation team. It's the office staff that are the true lifeline, working behind the scenes in various capacities while we still have a willingness to serve the students of Humble ISD by transporting them. Just to put things into perspective, there are several office staff, team members, including myself, who get paid less than drivers, yet we are required to drive. When becoming office staff, it's supposed to be a promotion and a huge accomplishment that is overlooked considering the additional tasks that we take on with promotion. Transportation. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Williams.
You have a good one.
Yes, ma'am. Mrs. Amanda McKee and Aiden McKee.
Hi, we were here last month, so we just want to do a follow-up to this month and just thank you all and thank you to the community. We're the Destination Imagination independent team that we came to you looking for help and support and connectivity just so that we could compete at Kansas City Global Finals. And we just wanted to share our experience and how that played out. And again, just thank you all so much for investing and being advocates and helping these kids because they did learn so much. They were partnered with Seoul, Korea, like for their buddy team, and they just met so many people across the world. And now they're coming back and they're going off into their 4 different schools, and they're going to continue to thrive in Humble ISD. So just thank you all so much. And I'll turn it over to Aiden for the rest of the time to go through his experience and how they did.
Hi, I'm Aiden McKee, and next year I'm going to 6th grade at Wood Creek Middle School. I was at Centennial Elementary. And for Global Finals, we got 7th in the world, and we got the Torchbearer Award. We got the Torchbearer Award, which is for helping a need in our community. We were the only one in the United States that got it. And in state, we got 6th place in state. And for regionals, we got 1st place. So we helped pets and helped raise awareness in our community about the homeless pet population. And so we just want to thank y'all all for helping and supporting us. So we have pins. I don't know if or should I give it to...
I was going to say, they're really big on pin trading from around the world. They collect pins, so Aiden and the team wanted to get pins for all of you, and this was the pin that was designed for the state of Texas.
Thank
So,
you.
thank you all
Oh,
again.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you, Aiden.
Aiden, thank you.
Can
Mrs. McKee, thank you.
Mr. Holmes, can Aiden give us our pins?
Would it be okay, Chief, if Aiden gave us our pins, and would it be okay? Okay, okay. Right. Very proud of you and the team. Thank you. Oh, I love this. That is a great pin. Right. Right, and next up, Miss Allen.
Great job speaking, by the way, Aiden. You did a really great job. You got a future in public speaking.
I am Deanie Allen, retired Humble ISD teacher. Item 8M on the consent agenda. Please pull it for separate discussion. Majestic Wellness Retreat, LLC, a Houston spa offering body contouring, non-invasive butt lifts. Yes, you heard it right, butt lifts, and foot detox treatments. It is up for approval as an educational and consulting services vendor. Educational and consulting services. RFP 2026-104E. Dr. Brown told me in an email, quote, "The district evaluation ensures that vendor services are aligned to the bid," end quote. So they meet the requirements, but Dr. Brown mentioned they do not support terrorists, they're not against Israel, there are no conflicts of interest, no felonies, et cetera, et cetera. But please, I would like to know how a spa can provide, and these are the services they're offering, quote, "key services including professional development for teachers, leadership coaching, behavioral health awareness, and burnout prevention workshops," unquote. Really? Technically, anyone can apply for this. But we're having a spa provide teacher training? We have outstanding counseling services. We need providers with credentials and experience. How did these folks get on the list?
Yes, Mr. Grabowski.
Dr. Brown, do you have somebody from your administration that could further dive into the RFP program and how this happens and why we are obligated?
Sure, Mr. Beatty. Mr. Beatty, can you talk about the process to become a vendor? Would you mind going up to the podium and talking about this? And I will say, because I did send, Ms. Allen brought this to our attention, and I did send this information to her. They have met the qualifications to respond to the RFP, which Mr. Beatty can explain. Go ahead.
I'm wondering if Mr. Rush might prefer that we defer that to pulling 8M.
That is correct.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, we'll delay that then.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Sure. I wondered why you weren't moving. You kept looking over there. If I'd have been quick enough, I'd have caught something's going on here. Sorry about that.
We're going to defer board comments till after we do the shuffle, but I did want to go ahead and let Dr. Brown, I believe you had a couple of comments or a comment to make.
Oh, well, I just wanted to congratulate
Destination Imagination, and it was an honor to have you represent Humble ISD. And I also wanted to thank CFI Mechanical because they really came through and helped with some of the finances for the trip, and so we really appreciate them doing this, and a great partner with Humble ISD, and I'm happy they were able to support the great work that you all did in Kansas City, so congratulations.
Yes. Moving to action item 6A, board officers. Selection of board officers. Mr. Silva, do I have a motion?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I move to approve the selection of the Board of Trustees officers for the 2026 to 2027 school year as follows. Mike Grabowski as president, Robert Scarfo as vice president, Oscar Silva as secretary, and Elizabeth Shaw as parliamentarian.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? All those opposed? All right, motion passes unanimously. With that vote, Mr. Mike Grabowski will take over as president. We will take a short recess to rearrange seating. The time is 7:19 p.m.
Well, thank you everyone for your patience. The annual confusion of the shuffle is now complete. This recess has ended at 7:31, and the meeting will now come to order. Our next order of business is comment by individual board members and then the superintendent. Mr. Kenny Pro.
Me first.
Yes, sir.
President Grabowski, how about it? I want to first just say thank you to Marcus, Mr. Holmes, commitment, and now we turn our attention to Mr. Grabowski. And I want to be the first to say we're all counting on you.
Thank you.
Okay? I still hear flash bulbs going off. Now, we've been together 3 years and led behind the scenes. Now you'll be out front. So you can count on us.
Thank you.
Yep.
I'm sorry, Ms. Shaw, I meant to start all the way on the side. I forgot you were up there. Mr. Shaw? Oh, we can't hear you.
Yeah, no, I can. Can you
Okay.
hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Okay. Congratulations, Mike. We're excited to see you take on this role. And Marcus, thank you for serving us well as Oscar, and we appreciate that. Also wanted to say, just on board comments, thank you to the Destination Imagine for their efforts and just coming up to the board last month and getting us involved in their whole process. This has been exciting to see. The other thing I want to just mention is briefly just our last month's recognition board meeting was very exciting. We got to see kind of a breadth of all that's happening in our district, and it was great to see that and what we've been doing this year. So just look forward to more of that. Last but not least is just commendation to our team that's put together a really good budget with a lot of transparency involved and something that we can actually publish to our public where everyone can see what's going on and what the plan is for the next year. So thank you again for all the hard work.
Thank you, Mrs. Shaw. Mrs. Parker?
I want to thank Mr. Holmes for his service over this past year and Mr. Silva as parliamentarian. Congratulations, President Grabowski. This gentleman, everything that I have witnessed him serve on for the school district has been flawless, just really, really outstandingly great. You're an Air Force Academy graduate. You are a pilot, so you're very particular, and everything you do, you research, you do thoroughly, you do professionally. When I was president, I started the safety committee, which you have chaired honorably and have done a great job and brought numerous people together to work as one team. Your efforts with ROTC have been amazing, and I'm just really excited to see you in this role. So again, congratulations.
Thank you, Mrs. Parker.
And I want to say hi to your fan club back there too.
Mr. Scarfo.
Thank you, Mr. President. Congratulations, Mr. Holmes. As I said to you earlier before the meeting, thank you for your service and all you did. And I kidded Marcus. I said, it's not as easy as it looks from the outside to sit there in that chair. I know, because I've done it, and other people who have. It seems like, it's just, run through not so much, but it's a lot involved. And you've had some practice this past year because Marcus was traveling. But anyway, I'm looking for great things. I appreciate all your help these last 3 years. I think the board, the district has come a long way, particularly the last 2 years. I know there's the naysayers out there, but there'll always be that. But you just don't focus on that. But thank you for your service, for your continued service. And as I said, I hope that we have great things ahead. I wanted to make one comment on the people who came up from transportation, if I can switch gears. I just want to say we really appreciate all the people in the office supporting the transportation function. There's no doubt about that. The reason for that additional increase was to really address a very specific need, and that is to bring on and have enough and retain enough full-time drivers who they do that 100% of their time. So I don't want you to feel anybody in the office positions. We know that you do coverage. It's your secondary role. We appreciate that. We understand that. But we do have some constraints in terms of our overall budget. And as I said, a lot of times we'll go after certain aspects in certain parts of the organization because we have to, because that's where that really driving need is at that moment in time. So I hope you can understand that. I know that doesn't help in any way because I'm not saying, we're going to go ahead and include all of you. So I know my words ring hollow, but I just wanted you to understand that we as a board, the superintendent, his team, we appreciate what you do. Don't let that be in any way a reflection that we don't, because we absolutely do. And with that, and the young man who was up here, Aiden, did a great job. But anyway, Mike, I just wish you all the best. It's not an easy row to hoe, and you know that, but I know you're definitely up to the challenge. So congratulations.
Thank you very much, Mr. Scarfo. Actually, one of my biggest mentors on how to do this up here. Mr. President, you're still going to be that guy to me for a while. Mr. Holmes.
Okay, so congratulations, Mr. Grabowski. I think I've said this probably a couple of times throughout the year, and I've said it to individuals as well. They've heard me echo this sentiment. Me and Mr. Grabowski actually get along on more and agree more on what most people would probably think. We are aligned on probably, would you say, 98% of what we're talking about, because he is absolutely concerned about students and outcomes. He has, and I hate using the word served me well, but when I say that, every time he called me, it was a level of respect. It absolutely was. This wasn't positioning. It wasn't based on ceremony. He genuinely really wanted to serve at the pleasure of the board. So whether it was me or anybody else, Mike actually, Mr. Grabowski, really wanted to serve. And he actually, in having some really deep conversations with him, he really does want what's best for this school district. It has been a pleasure over the last 3 years working with you. It has. I see the level of intensity and sincerity that you have, especially over safety and security. I appreciate the advice you've given me on what routes to fly and what flights to take, because I travel quite a bit. He has done extremely well in that. And there are times he's called just to ask how I'm doing. So when I say that you're going to get the same level of service and respect that you have given me, you absolutely will. I just, again, want to really reiterate, I appreciate how we have been as brothers and sisters on this board over the last year. And I want to say thank you to each and every one of you that have helped me. Mr. Scarfo, I'm going to be honest with you. You know, we have not always aligned, and I'm going to say this publicly, recognition. And I think this is a sign of when you really want to make it about real leadership. When Mr. Scarfo brought up the recognition meetings, I said, oh my God, this is another meeting. Oh God, this is another meeting. But I wasn't thinking correctly, and I could admit that I was wrong. Because what I saw 2 Tuesdays ago, I believe, was the reason why. When we can dedicate a complete meeting to recognizing some of the most amazing students and teachers and administrators, that's what it's about. So again, I think as a board, we don't always have to agree on everything, but I think as a board, when we see that what was shared was out of seeing something that I couldn't and being able to circle back and say, I was wrong, you were right, thank you for making the motion. But again, that's what real leadership is. And again, I am proud to be on this board. We do not always get it right, but I do think that we also have a really good focused effort now in wanting to make sure that these students and our teachers and our administrators, that they're taken care of, that we are trying to create as much transparency as we can. And again, I just want to say thank you to all of you. And again, Mr. Grabowski as Vice President this past year. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes. Mr. Silva.
Yes, Mr. President. Got to be parliamentarian my first year on the board. Interesting way to learn the ropes, but hopefully I did that well for you, Mr. Holmes, and thank you for your service. Congratulations, Mike. Looking forward to turning this over to Elizabeth in the next meeting, but I'll keep it brief. That's it. Thank you.
Well, good evening. A couple of administrative things that I'm going to try to give it a little different look, and then I'm going to get into a couple of personal comments. I believe in committee work. We have 7, I'm putting myself in here. I know you're going to probably think it's funny. We have 7 very talented trustees up here. And I believe in the committee format so that when 3 people see a long presentation of 60, 70 slides and they approve, they have my trust. I'll see that presentation in an email or whatever. I can do my due diligence. I can study. We get it a week before the meeting. It doesn't need to be seen a second time. That way we can be more efficient with our time at these meetings. We're going to get an executive summary or a snapshot of that long presentation that we're aiming at about 8 to 10 minutes for that presentation. And you're going to see 2 of them tonight. That's the difference between the long and the executive summary. And now on us trustees, I've asked, and we've all agreed, we're going to withhold our questions till the end of the presentation. So we're going to wait until you guys are done presenting, whoever presents, whenever you present, and we're going to have the courtesy of withholding, because too often we ask a question that a slide or 2 later is the answer to our question. And we're going to talk, I know you're not going to like this one, the start time to be moved up. We're going to talk about that later in an action item, so I hope I don't upset too many of you. Now the personal. I'm honored and I'm humbled for this promotion. I don't take it lightly. I haven't taken up here lightly. 1 day, 1 hour, 1 minute. It was a very different school board when I got on it. I'm just very proud that I have been successfully selected as your new president, but I work for all of you. I really do. And we 7 of us work for all of you, and we get that. I love that a student came up to that podium today and spoke. I wish we had more of that. But I look at this promotion from my 6 peers like I do the Teacher of the Year, where teachers promote teachers to Teacher of the Year. My fellow 6 trustees trust me enough to advance me to the president is about as cool as a promotion as I've ever had in my life. And I thank you all for that very, very much. Marcus, you set a high bar. Mr. Holmes, I'm sorry. It's a little personal right here. I hope to do the same. I want to take your bar and raise it. I need all of your help. You know how it goes. We can't do this alone. I love this team. I really do. We were very fractured 3 years ago. We are very united. Though votes may go 4-3, we are not divided. It's just that we have a different opinion. But there's one thing we have in common this past year that was missing my first two. All 7 of us care about the 48,000 plus students that we are trustees to. And we're not representatives, we're not senators, we're trustees. Parents, you hand off your children to this school district. It is an amazing amount of responsibility that this school district has from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. The person that child, your child, my child sees the most is your teacher. And we will do everything we can to support that engagement of mind between teacher and child so they can get the greatest education possible from when they enter. Now they can enter pre-K 4, 14 years later, graduate 12th grade. There's so many people to thank. They're my fan club in the back. Thank you very, very much for being here. At the risk of leaving people out, it was a cool picture. It's one I'm going to hang. I promise them I will. But there's 2 people I want to thank the most because my beautiful bride is here and my youngest daughter is here. I have 3 children, 6 grandchildren. The phone rings as dinner gets put on the table, and to the back room I go and I get in a discussion, and they eat without me, as they should. It impacts your family. But I got a great wife. I got a great daughter. They support me. And love you both. Thank you for being here. And thank you, everybody, again, for the confidence in me to promote me to the board president. Okay, moving on to our next agenda item. Item 7A, personal recommendations. Mr. Silva, do I have a motion, please?
Yes, Mr. President. I move to approve the administration's personnel recommendations as presented in closed session with addendum.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor? All those opposed? I will. She's going to abstain. All those opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you, Mrs. Shaw. It's 6-0-1. Mrs. Shaw was not in closed session. Okay, for those following along, we have already covered item 7, Bravo. 7, Charlie, final order to non-renewal term contract. Mr. Silver, do I have a motion?
Yes, Mr. President. I move to render a final order to non-renewal the term contract of Amanda Dickard and authorize the superintendent or designee to take all actions and provide all appropriate notices for the same.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor? All those opposed? Any abstentions? Mrs. Shaw, I didn't see how you voted. You're muted. I'm not sure what you voted for.
Abstain.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the vote was 6-0-1. Okay, the consent agenda. Mr. Silva, do I have a motion?
Yes, Mr. President. I move to approve consent agenda items 8A through 8Q exclusive of pulled item 8M.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Are there any items a trustee would like to pull?
Sorry, Mr. President, I thought he said it pulled.
I pulled 8M.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that correctly. Can you say it one more time, Mr. Silva?
Yes, absolutely. I move to approve consent agenda items 8A through 8Q exclusive of pulled item 8M.
Okay, thank you. Do I have a second? One more time?
Second.
Okay. Any Comments? All those, go ahead, Mr. Silva.
I believe that we had pulled that to give Mr. Beatty an opportunity to explain the vendor
We're going to get
process.
to, we'll get to M in a minute, I promise you. Right.
Yeah, you'll
We're gonna
take,
pass.
That's what we're,
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yep.
Okay. Dr. Brown, can you have your administration please address
Yes.
item M?
Okay, Mr. Beatty, so as you're moving up to the podium to talk about this and the standards that are, yes, I'm getting stopped again.
the motion on the floor is about approving the consent agenda absent the pulled M. So y'all should be voting on the consent agenda items now, and we will talk about the pulled one second.
sorry, parliamentarian error, my apologies.
Okay, you'll meet.
What a way to go out. After such a stellar year, man.
Man, to lose in the bottom of the ninth is a tough way to lose. Okay, the item on the floor is the consent agenda, A through Q, less item M as in Mike. Any comments? All those in favor? Motion passes unanimously, 7-0. Okay, Mr. Silva, do I have a motion on item 8, Mike?
Yes, sir. I move to approve adding the identified vendors to the listing of vendors previously approved to educational and consulting services for district-wide use.
Second.
Okay, Dr. Brown. Now, please.
I'm going to
For the
wait.
third time.
Am I good? Yeah. It's been a long time since our last board meeting. I'm a little rusty, apparently. All right, so Mr. Beatty's going to explain the vendor process and the standards. But one of the things that we have to understand is that when people apply to be part of the vendor list, that doesn't necessarily mean that we'll actually be using that vendor. It means they meet the requirements established by Humble ISD. And so let me just read this real quick. So that was brought up. So the Majestic Wellness provides, this is what they submitted, provides professional consulting and training services to support staff development, student wellness, and organizational effectiveness within educational settings. Key services include professional development for teachers and staff, leadership coaching, behavioral awareness training, and staff wellness and burnout prevention workshops. The organization also offers structured, student-focused programming, including group-based wellness, emotional awareness, resilience workshops delivered in coordination with school staff and in compliance with district supervision requirements. Additional services include safety training such as CPR, first aid, AED, and emergency preparedness, as well as program development, strategic planning support, and wellness initiatives. All programs are delivered through structured, interactive sessions tailored to district needs. So with that submitted, this and being part of our vendor list, if one of our staff members chose to use them, they would vet this. So what does this look like? Like if I were going to use them, I would want to talk to references that they've done this type of work with. I might go observe them. I would want to see a detailed report submitted, exactly what they're going to do. I would meet with them. And so that is kind of how this would work. And so we may not even use this individual organization. So I'll stop and let you take it over.
That was very clearly stated, and that's all correct. So what this item does is we review vendors who submit to our bids and that fulfill those requirements. And some of those were mentioned, the statutory requirements that the state requires. And so this vendor met those requirements. And that would make them eligible to do business with a school district, us in this case. That doesn't, like Dr. Brown mentioned, that doesn't necessarily mean that we engage in business with that vendor. And something important to note about that process is that we're not eliminating vendors based on services that they provide that we don't need. That's not part of the evaluation criteria. So there's lots of vendors out there that Amazon, for example, has a lot of stuff that we don't need and that we would never use. But we don't eliminate them from the vendor pool because we don't need some of those services. They submit to our bids for the services that, are in alignment with our need. And so that's how they're evaluated. And once you all approve them as an available vendor, like Dr. Brown stated, then we go into a deep dive analysis, check references, effectiveness of the vendor for our need that is aligned to student success or student safety. And at that point, if the leadership determined that we would use that vendor, then we would bring forward to you all a CH local request that would authorize us to spend X amount of money with that vendor and engage in a contract with that vendor. So what this process was, and the question here was just a vendor was eligible to do business with the district, not that it means that we're engaging in business with that vendor.
Any questions from the board to Mr. Beatty? Thank you, Mr. Beatty. Any comments at all? Okay, all those in favor? The motion passes 7-0. And thank you for that explanation very much. Don't go too far. Item 9A, 2026 budget adoption. Mr. Superintendent, I believe we have a presentation.
Yes, Mr. Beatty's coming forward to make a presentation on the budget. I've learned to pause.
Hey, I'm learning to react. The mixed, I had a voice command and a hand signal, so I was frozen. All right, good evening, board and Dr. Brown. Tonight I'm going to present the final version of our 26-27 budget. So I just want to reemphasize that this has been a long process, a lot of review, a lot of evaluation, a lot of feedback that we've received, and everything inside this budget that we're recommending to you all is aligned to those two goals of student success and student safety. I'm very proud to be bringing forward to you recommending a balanced recurring operating budget. That's a lot of hard work. That's a district-wide effort from the board and your work, superintendent, senior staff cabinet, everybody who manages a budget in the district. That is a lot of work. And where we are right now with school finance, it's not easy. And that's a lot. That's the product of a lot of work there to be able to bring forward a balanced budget with a slight surplus here. The only thing I will mention is that this is all the capacity we have for future years. So there's not a lot of wiggle room here going forward, but we're not going to give up on looking for additional revenue and ways to lower costs. So we'll do everything we possibly can to control what we can control and not be 100% dependent on the state when they meet for the next legislative session. But things are, getting tight here. I want to say thank you to you all for approving our compensation recommendation last month. That included a 3% raise for all staff. And we were able to, we talked a little bit about it earlier, but we were also able to we do a deep analysis on all jobs within the district. So we look at, do we have excessive vacancies? Are jobs falling below market among our peers? And we tried to do additional lift there, and we were able to do that in some of the additional areas. And we're always trying to do the best for all of our staff. We'd always want to give more, but we still have to finally balance all the needs within the district. So that 3% raise, we appreciate that you all approving that recommendation. We think it's going to put us in a really, really good position among our peers next year. We're also have some work to do to stabilize funding on our health plan. We are going to be recommending raising premiums on the high deductible and the primary health plans, and then also add a Kelsey-Seybold plan. And I just want to restate that even with these increases in our premiums are going to be far cheaper than any other district in the state, really. So we have been, we've had a placeholder through the last 2 meetings to discuss a budget for special education needs. And so we had about that $750,000 that placeholder that we have, but we haven't really given you any of those details yet. So we had the special ed audit wrap up, and we got a lot of good information and directive from that, the results of that audit. And so we took that information and aligned those resources to the recommendations in that audit. And so here you can see a high-level summary of how that $755,000 allocation is made up, some teaching and assessment positions, and something, we're watching all federal funds, but IDA-B isn't getting more money, and that's that grant that supports special education. But as we increase, if we give a 3% for all district staff, well, anyone that's coded to IDA-B, well, that's a 3% additional expenditure there that the grant doesn't just give us 3% more to fund that. So there's a little bit of work we have to do to manage costs on that 224 grant there. So we're including an allocation there for that. And then the state has recently added a new dyslexia 45-minute requirement that we need to provide some additional training to be able to meet that requirement. And then along with some more funding to be able to manage all of our AEDs and stop the bleed kits at our campuses. So a little bit more detail on the special education. We were able to do a lot more with that $755,000 because we were able to redirect about $700,000 of central administration spend and repurpose that to direct benefit of campus and student needs. So we're actually adding quite a few campus teaching positions and para positions, and then some more assessment staff. And so that, although it was only a $360,000 teacher additional add, we're able to do more because we repurposed some existing funds there. We did not have very many general, just operational budget requests, but that doesn't mean that we didn't do a lot. We were able to find alternative funding to be able to support over $1.5 million worth of operational budget requests. And I've mentioned this before, but that's due to the fact that we do something a little unique here with carry forward. Most districts, you use it or lose it. That's your budget. We allow you to carry forward 15% of your unused budget. And so that gave every campus and department a little bit of cushion to be able to do some of those things that, hey, use that carry forward you built up before we add to the recurring budget there. So we were able to do a lot more than just keep going that special education teacher pipeline program and police technology needs. We were able to find alternative funding there. And then separate from the recurring budget, some things that come through the budget request process are one-time in nature, so we don't necessarily need to devote permanent recurring operating budget for those needs. So in those situations, we recommend using fund balance to support those one-time budget requests. So we have about $3.2 million worth of those one-times, and the largest one is continuing the non-House Bill 3 stipend that's a $500 and $500 payment in December and May. And that will support some of those other areas that were discussed earlier today, that is a stipend available to those. And so it's good to keep that going because it's very meaningful. As far as revenue goes, I want to give you all a little bit deeper look at the revenue and expenditure makeup of the 3 budgets that you'll be adopting or will be bringing forward for adoption tonight. The reason, we talked about this a little bit earlier too, but the reason why we have the 3 budgets is because we have three separate and distinct revenue sources. So specific to general fund, the primary revenue for the general fund is state foundation school program, which you can see is $388 million in revenue that we project. And then our local M&O tax that we collect what we can from local property taxes, and that amounts to almost $170 million that we're projecting, and a little bit of federal revenue there. But that's really the reason why we have these separate budgets that we're adopting, because we have separate revenue sources. And so we're projecting a little over $560 million of revenue and $559.5 million of expenditures for that small $659,000 surplus for this year in the general fund. As far as child nutrition budget goes, the primary revenue here is a federal program, National School and Lunch Program, that we generate 2/3 of our revenue. And the other remaining $10 million is from student payments when they pay for their lunch. So the revenue is largely federal, and then about 1/3 from student payments. And so we project that we'll have about $30.5 million in child nutrition revenue. And we are planning to spend more than that because we need to, or we will risk losing some of the excess fund balance that we have built up in that fund. So we have about $8 million worth of infrastructure upgrades that are going to really enhance our nutrition program, but not put us in a difficult situation to maintain those because it's a one-time type purchase. Finally, we have debt service, and again, the revenue source for this is primarily the INS portion of the tax rate. So we are projecting almost $85 million worth of INS tax collections, and then some state programs that support the debt service budget of almost $27 million. So recommending a balanced budget here of just almost $111,700,000 here, both on revenue and expenditures. So overall, ultimately, this is when you adopt the budget, we bring to you a budget by function, and so this is ultimately the budget we are bringing forward to you for review and approval tonight. We have the general fund with the small surplus there, the child nutrition budget with the planned deficit spend, and the debt service here. All three of those independent budgets for you to approve tonight. And I do want to just make mention that although we're not bringing we won't bring a tax rate for you for adoption until September, we've based off of preliminary tax information that we have received from HCAD, we anticipate that we will have a flat tax rate for next year. So this budget is built assuming a flat tax rate. But we'll bring that tax rate to you in September for ultimate adoption. And with that, if you all approve this budget, we will begin implementing this budget and have it available for district to utilize on July 1st of this year. And that's my presentation.
Does anybody have any questions on the presentation? Can't see Elizabeth. But. Thank you, Mr. Beatty. Thank you, Ms. Beatty. Okay, Mr. Silva, do I have a motion?
Can we just one thing? Again, I know we all want to say thank you to the efforts. I'd like to also thank the Finance Committee for its hard work, and senior staff, of course. But as Mr. Beatty mentioned, all to the camp, all the way down to the campuses, every department. The reason we're in solid shape is because of everybody working on this 24/7, 365. I mean, it's an ongoing thing, and I know I appreciated being able to sit up here and looking at, you didn't have that slide and I know it's in the bigger presentation of other districts. And boy, thank God we're not them. That's all I can say. It's a testament to everything all of you guys do every day across this district. So I personally, and I know all of us, thank you guys for the efforts and what they've done. And who was chair of the Finance Committee this year?
Mr. Holmes,
Mr. Holmes. And who was on it? Were you on?
myself, and Mr. Silva.
Thank you guys for the efforts there too, and Dr. Brown. So anyway, that's all. I just wanted to say that. I'm sorry.
No, sir. Mrs. Parker.
I just want to echo what Mr. Scarfo said, and thank you, Mr. Beatty. When we, and Mr. Holmes, I think is going to TASB, and when we talk to other trustees from other districts, particularly other districts touching us, we are just night and day ahead of those districts financially. It is just amazing, and that is because of your hard work, the hard work of this team, and it really, I can't tell you what good shape we're in. I mean, we really are far ahead.
Mr. Grabowski,
Yes, Mr. Holmes.
ditto to all that. I was there in DC when we were talking to representatives, and I'm going to tell you there are other school districts that are challenged. They're operating in a gross negative budget, and it was, you felt bad. Again, Mr. Beatty, your team, thank you for continuing to lead the way. Also, just, it's still along the line of finance, but I believe Mr. Beatty is leading the charge where he's going to have some of the neighboring districts actually come and get a chance to hear what he's doing in terms of best practices. When is that meeting coming up, Mr. Beatty? I know it's sometime in, I think it's this month, right? Or is it in July?
So we had one where we all got together as District 127.
That's it.
And so we discussed all of our needs and reiterating what we think the state could try to emphasize in the next legislative session. That was maybe a week or two. I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's so much activity. But again, I just want to say, guys, we got really great leadership here. I know that they are trying to take Mr. Beatty. He cannot go anywhere. So we have to keep doing well by his kids in the district. I know they are trying to snag him. Mr. Beatty, again, just want to say thank you. You really have done an exceptional job. And again, credit to you and your team.
Any other comments? Okay. Mr. Silva, do I have a motion, please?
Yes, Mr. President. I move to approve the 2026 to 2027 budgets for the General Fund, the National School Breakfast and Lunch Program Fund, and the Debt Service Fund as presented.
Second.
Any comments? All those in favor? The motion passes 7-0 unanimously. Mr. Beatty, it's time to work for next year now. It's official. Item 9B, nomination of a candidate for the TASB Board of Directors Region 4 Position A seat. Mr. Silva, do I have a motion? Bless you.
Yes, sir. I move to nominate Marcus Holmes for the Region 4 Position A seat on the Texas Association of School Boards Board of Directors.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? Seeing no comments, all those in favor? The motion passes 7-0 unanimously. Congratulations, Mr. Holmes. Item 9C, discussion and possible action regarding board policy BE. Mr. Silva, do I have a motion?
Yes, sir. I move to approve amendment board policy BE local.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any comments? Mr. Scarfo.
Mr. President, would you want to just read what it is and why?
We put this as future board business, and here's where it showed up. And it's to move the start times of the regular meetings, which is tonight, to line up with our special board meetings to move them forward 1 hour. So when we vote on this, should it pass, all board meetings will go into open session at 6 and closed session at 5, whether it be special or regular. Okay. Any other comments? Yes, Ms. Parker.
We want y'all to get to go home.
Okay, seeing no other comments. All those in favor? The motion passes unanimously, 7-0. Okay, item 9D, discussion and possible action regarding the School Library Advisory Council. Mr. Silva, do I have a motion, please?
Yes, sir. I move to postpone consideration of this item, including potential amendments to Board Policy EFB Local, to the June 16th special meeting.
Second.
Any comments? Okay, seeing no comments, all those in favor? Again, it passes unanimously 7-0. We'll talk about that next week. Okay, we're now on to information items. The first item is item 10A from Intruder Detection Audit. Major Perkins.
I have nothing to report.
Nothing to report. Thank you, sir. Any questions from the board regarding this item? Okay. Moving on to item 10B, an update on open enrollment. Mr. Superintendent, I believe we have a presentation.
We do, from Jonathan Price. So, we started this a couple of years ago. The landscape in education has changed a little bit now with open enrollment and vouchers and that kind of thing. And so we have a declining enrollment here. We are down about 700 students from the previous year. And so this is not unique to Humble. This is across the state of Texas and surrounding districts. And so we have the ability to open up enrollment to outside the Humble ISD boundaries. And so we have done that the last couple of years. I think last year, Mr. Beatty, what did we have, around 200 students on open enrollment? And so Jonathan's here today to give us an update to the board on, okay, so what are we doing to market Humble ISD so that families outside the boundaries of Humble ISD might go, that might be a place I want to be. And so, Jonathan, I'll let you take it from there.
All right. Well, you did about half of it, so we're doing well. We said brief, so this is going to be a brief. Good evening. It's great to see y'all in your new spots. Just so you know, a more detailed presentation will be online, made available online on the Humble ISD website for those who want a little more extensive report for more detailed information. Fortunately, thanks to careful planning and dedicated leadership, Humble ISD is financially sound, but we are not immune, as Dr. Brown said, to the challenges facing schools throughout our state and the nation, and that is declining birth rates, which means declining enrollment. Here you can see that as our seniors graduate, we don't have as many kindergarten students replacing them. So we're at a declining enrollment. That's why we must be proactive in maintaining student enrollment to protect the funding that supports everything our schools offered. The board approved limited open enrollment, as you can see here, on April 9th of 2024. So the first year, we enrolled 118 out-of-district students. During the 2025-2026 school year, as you see again, the number increased to 225. And as we move to 2026-2027, our goal is to serve even more students. One important point is that many open enrollment students actually come from Humble ISD. About 40% are students whose families moved out of district but are able to keep their students in the same school because through the open enrollment program, and those families are especially grateful. This year, we took a new approach by, 1, eliminating the application fee, 2, we opened more on campuses where space is available, and we implemented a more strategic digital marketing campaign, which is what Dr. Brown alluded to a minute ago. So The next slides will show you 18 elementary schools, 9 middle schools, and 4 high schools that are now participating in limited open enrollment. It's a little bit of a jump from last year. The ones in blue indicate the new ones for the 2026-2027 school year. So the early results suggest that this approach is working. Again, you can see the chart here. In 2024, we received, 24-25, we received 241 applications, and that increased to 375 in 25-26. So as of noon, June 2nd, we're up to 480 already, and 266 have been accepted, 120 are pending, 50 so far have been denied. Most denials are due to attendance, discipline, or academic concerns. Next slide, we promoted open enrollment through print advertising, including front page sticker ads and community impact and postcards mailed to families living near Humble ISD. This summer, we are also advertising through Google and Microsoft Display Ads, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, targeted email lists, streaming video, such as an ad you might see before a news clip on your iPhone, and program placements such as commercials during a show on a streaming service, say Netflix or Hulu. Now, you may be wondering why you haven't seen the ads. And that's fair, except you don't fit the target audience. It's plain and simple. We are targeting people who, if you live in Humble ISD, you're not part of our target audience. If you don't have children who are school-aged, you're not our target audience. We are targeting specifically people who live outside of Humble ISD and who have school-aged children. Fortunately, digital marketing allows us to reach them specifically. Technology. So you might also be thinking, isn't this kind of expensive? So for the 26-27 application season, we've spent about $25,000 so far. Considering that each student generates a little over $11,000 for the district more than covers marketing costs if just 3 students enroll, new students enroll. In fact, limited open enrollment generated more than $2.5 million during the 2025-2026 school year. Those dollars help sustain staffing and programs that benefit all students. So next slide is going to be just a small example of some of our digital ads that we put up that you won't be seeing. But you can see them. I'd like to point out that these are all Humble ISD students. And they haven't got to see them either, sadly enough. And then our next slide, we have a video, just an example of a commercial that you also won't get to see, but you'll get to see what other people do get to see.
Explore what's possible. Learn something new every day. Grow with support, guidance, and opportunity. Thrive in a place that prepares you for what's next. From kindergarten to high school, it all starts here. Enrollment is now open. Apply today.
All right, so we will continue to encourage people to go to humbleisd.net/open enrollment and join the Humble ISD family. And I'm open for questions.
Any questions? Mr. Scarfo.
Thanks, Jonathan. I appreciate that and the presentation and the longer one that we were able to see. That's all well and good that we're addressing that audience, but when I brought up the issue or the request that we have a discussion on branding, I think we're kind of missing another big audience, and those are people who do live in Humble ISD in our school district, who have school-age children, and they're not sending them to our schools. And how do we encourage them to do that? Because we can show all of the things. And And in that ad, it didn't really tell me really why I should apply, other than that I should. And, I saw a couple of things. But I think that's another big market that and I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, and maybe it's not. I wonder if we could get a handle on what that audience would be within our boundaries. People who are not coming here, they're homeschooling, private school, charter school, for whatever reason. And I'm not saying that's personal opinion, but maybe we can convince them that look at us, look at all these things, whether it's fine arts, sports, student performance, safety, all those things, things that are really strong selling points for us. And that's where, while this is great for that market, I understand that we're going after, but I think this can kind of be a dual.
We can definitely have that conversation, explore what we want to do is just show you this is where we are, but that's the whole purpose of this. Yeah, we want to brainstorm with you all, and that's a great idea, and we can certainly look at that and brag about Humble ISD and share that with families that live here. And I think we'll be able to do that even more as the new student achievement results come out. And then we can talk about the safety and obviously all of the great programs that we have within fine arts and athletics and just others as well. And so, because we want people to be excited about being here. I want people to have, it's kind of like that Sewell car commercial, the Sewell experience. I want them to have the Humble experience. And we can explore testimonies from people that are here about the Humble experience and get them to be proud about being here and what it's like to be a student here and a teacher here and a parent here, a community member. And so, we're at the beginning.
Right, and to your point, because I sent an email back to Ms. Mount, you had some comments in the bigger presentation of people who have come here, and I said to her, boy, if you could get them to do a short video clip saying what they said in writing, that would be great, to see that. And I think maybe video clips of those recognition meetings would be another, like, oh, wow, look at this. I would love my child to be part of these kind of celebrations because they're part of those organizations at that district because they're doing great things. So we got a lot of great stuff to sell. That's all my only point is, and we're kind of keeping it hidden a little bit. And I think this is an opportunity to go after both audiences. That's all my 3 cents.
That's great points. Any other comments? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to the next item. I'll work our way down the line for Board Association and Committee updates. Mr. Silva, do you have any updates from your committee? Mr. Silva, I'm sorry.
Yes, I do. 1 second. I just had a quick update from the Education Foundation. They've got updated executive officers starting this summer. They have new chairman Danny Contreras, vice chairman Tracy Meath, treasurer Austin Bird, and Drew Gutierrez and Monica Humphrey are going to hold 2 at-large positions. They're also welcoming 4 new board of directors to the team: Lauren Cash with Elite Hospital, Felicia Cumby, hopefully I'm saying that right, with Edward Jones, and Greg East with Purdue, Brandon Fielder, Collins and Mott, and Terry Kerr, who's a retired educator and volunteer. And we also do want to give special thanks to Josh Morrison, Heather Elkin, and Daniela Simbera for their years of service on the foundation board. They rolled off this year, but very grateful for the support they've given to the school district and the Education Foundation. And last but not least, the Education Foundation is gearing up for Purse Bingo, August 21st. It sells out every year, so get the tickets now. It's all on humbleisdfoundation.org. And that is it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Holmes, any comments?
Yes, Finance Committee updates. We just had it, so again, don't need to reiterate that. And as far as Superintendent, I believe those scores are coming in, but everything is looking like it's tracking the right way. So again, I know we'll have that here shortly, but that's the updates.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Nothing from safety. Mr. Scarfo.
No report, Mr. President, from Building and Planning.
Mrs. Parker.
No report.
Mr. Kirchhoffer.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Shaw. Any comments from Curriculum Committee?
Yeah, no, we have a new curriculum that's being rolled out, so just stay tuned for that. I think there's going to be a lot of work that's being done over the summer, so just thankful for the team and just, this is our second rollout, so patient across the board, and I think it's going to be very successful.
Okay, thank you. Okay, the next item is item 10D, the 2026-27 ESSA Consolidated Federal Grant. Any questions from the board regarding this issue? Seeing none, item 10E, Financial Services Report. Any questions from the board regarding this issue? Okay, seeing none. Moving on to number 11, consideration of topics for future board business. Do any trustee have anything to offer for future board business? Mrs. Scarfo, I don't have any, just so you know.
Well, you better not, because you don't even need to do that anymore. You can just put them on, because that's the one, I guess you want to call it authority or power that the president has, is you can set an agenda without asking a person. And you could stop the superintendent from putting something on the agenda. So anyway, but no, thank goodness.
Mrs. Scarfo, I just said I had nothing yet to offer at this time.
I will say, Mr. Holmes never stopped me from putting out, just kidding.
Wow, that puts pressure on Grabowski.